Peaking in high school is just embarrassing as hell. Like nowadays, so many people just peak in high school, and I feel like it's just becoming a recurring problem. Because if you consider the 4 years you spend in high school to be the peak of your life, you honestly have a sad ass life. That's just the truth. And like you can always tell the people who are going to peak in high school. Usually it's the popular rich kids who spend all of daddy's money, and when they don't have daddy no more, they got to get a job and live a regular, average, boring life, or end up flipping burgers for a living because they dropped out of college. Or it's the athletes who were the shit in high school but ended up being shit in college who be flipping my burgers too. Could also be the hoes too. Don't forget about them. All them school bops that were a fan favorite on them cold, lonely nights where you had nobody else to text, they finna peak in high school too. But all in all, nobody wants to end up like this. Nobody wants their high school tenure to be the peak of their lives, even if they were crazy lit in high school. At the end of the day, high school is only 4 years, and if we're being real, you're only gonna be lit for 2 of them, junior and senior year. So today, I'm finna give y'all a guide on how not to peak in high school. Shout out to the people who already did it. Check out their videos, they're really good too. And besides that, y'all know I don't waste time, so let's go ahead and get into it. Rule number 1, don't get a big ego. See, getting a big ego is where most people go wrong in high school. See, a lot of people think that their high school is the only thing that really matters in the world. Even though we're all aware that other high schools do exist and other realities, we just think our high school is everything, especially if you live in America. Like, we're just cocky in general. My point being, if you're in high school and you're a star athlete at your school, or you're just popular in general, you think you're the king of the world. Everybody knows you at your school, everybody's cool with you, most people like you, and everybody knows you just a lit nigga at that school, bruh. So naturally, this would just give you an inflated sense of ego. Because if everybody's saying I'm the shit, you eventually gonna believe it. Just how it works. And what most people don't realize is that in all reality, you might be the shit in high school, but once you get to the real world, nobody's gonna care about you, gang. Nothing that you do in high school matters in the real world. It only matters at that high school. Once you leave that high school, you're gonna have this inflated sense of entitlement that you don't deserve because you didn't do shit in the real world. I know that's a lot of big words for the simple-minded people, but basically what I'm trying to say is,
you are not him.
Being lit in high school doesn't mean you're gonna be lit in real life. Up until you're 18, you're really just in the pre-trial life anyways. Life doesn't really start until you graduate high school, and so anything you do before that doesn't really matter unless you sign like an NIL deal or you just start a company when you're young or do YouTube in high school. Yeah, you never know. So once you get to the real world or college or whatever you decide to do, and you realize nothing's owed to you, nobody really likes you, nobody knows who you are, you're finna have a reality check. If you try to carry on like you're that nigga, people are gonna make sure you know that you're not that nigga. And eventually things will go wrong. Start failing classes because you think you're too good for them. Play sports, you're gonna be lazy because you think you should automatically start and you're not gonna start. And this will eventually cause a downhill landslide until you're flipping my fries at McDonald's. Point being, too much ego in high school will always be your downfall. Now, of course, this isn't always the case. I'm not saying that all popular kids will end up going down this path, but if you have an inflated sense of ego for no reason other than you're a senior in high school, your ass is gonna get a reality check once you get to the real world. Just being real. This happens to a lot of girls too. That's why they get pregnant. They think they're the queen of the world and nothing's gonna stop them until they get a baby in their belly. And oh look, Roe versus Wade is in, and now your state doesn't allow abortion, so now you got to keep the baby. And eventually you'll become a stay-at-home mom that gets beat by her husband because you don't know how to season your chicken correctly, or just another single mom. I already know how that goes. My case in point, don't have an inflated sense of ego. Sin number 2. But before we really get into this, go sub up to the live channel. I want to get this live channel to 10K by the end of the month. If we do, I'll upload an extra video next week. Gonna be hell trying to get the video ready, but hey, we gonna do it. So make sure you sub up to the live channel. And the video on the screen is probably the best one on there, so go ahead and click that shit. Anyways, back to the video. Sin number 2, not having backup plans. Okay, this one's primarily for athletes. I'm gonna just be very real with y'all. We all know that one old head that always talks about how he could have been to the league if his knee didn't give out, or if his girl didn't get pregnant, or some extravagant tragedy just didn't happen to him. And usually that old head is probably working some sort of UPS job, maybe a blue collar job, maybe he's flipping your fries at Wendy's, or the most likely option, he's probably selling drugs on your street. And trapping. Don't forget trapping. My case in point, a lot of people end up like this old head. You want to know why I say that? Because we all know one. See, athletes, especially nowadays, commonly rely solely on their sport that they play to get them through life. Whether it's basketball, football, track, college, whatever it is, bro, they rely solely on that. They rely on this to get them to college, hope they go pro, but most likely they probably won't. It's just really, really hard, and people just don't realize that. So once their playing days are over, usually they don't know what to do with their life. life. Some respond quickly and just get a regular job, and others use their degrees and actually find a job in that field and end up having decent lives. But other people who put their whole existence in life into one sport usually just don't know what to do with themselves. They go into a deep depression, have to really find themselves, because without that one sport that really made them who they are, what are they? And these type of people usually end up being on the street or in the sheets for a professional job. I'm not kidding. Look up most P stars and what they did in the past, bro. It's crazy. But usually these people who don't know what to do with their lives, they just end up doing something boring and just usually end up having shitty lives, or at least shittier lives than they did in high school, especially if they didn't go to college for that sport. It's a big problem in modern day culture, and especially in the black community, but I think I'm gonna save that for another video. But my point is saying this is a big reason for people peaking in high school. People get lit at this sport, they a 5-star, king of the school, highly touted prospect, supposed to go to the league, and then something happens. They get injured, get in some legal trouble, hell, sleep with a white girl. That's always a killer for most athletes' career. And now all of a sudden their careers are over and nobody cares about them no more. All the hype and all the praise and fame is gone, just like that. A lot of us will never have to go through that, but I can only imagine the amount of pain you will go through with that. Like, that depression after that would just be crazy, bro. But again, my whole point behind this, if you don't want to peak in high school, have a backup plan. Don't make your sport your whole identity. I don't care if you're Jalen Green or Victor Wembanyama. He goddamn, that nigga like 7'5", bro. Like, what the hell? Anything can happen. And if that thing does happen, you can't play your sport no more. What are you gonna do with your life? So my advice to you, always have a backup plan, no matter how good you are. And the third and final way to peak in high school is by getting too lit. Now, in my tenure of YouTube, I've talked about a bunch of things that happen in school, but one of my favorite videos that I've done is my high school parties video. Reason why is because high school parties is just lit, bro. Like, I'm gonna just be very real with y'all. Like, if you've never been to a high school party, go to one, bro. They are always fun, bro. As long as you got the right people, the right music, the right products there, you're gonna be fine. But the products part gets a little bit slippery, because the thing about having these amenities, whether it's the drink or the gas, is that they're very easily abusable. I've seen a lot of people who just get lit way too much, party way too hard, and just do the absolute most, end up ruining their lives before it really even gets started. Because a lot of people don't really realize this, but like, doing a lot of drugs in high school really does have a big effect on the rest of your life, bruh. And if you showing up to school lit every single day, like, there's no way you gonna graduate with like passing grades. It's just not gonna happen. And if you do, there's no way you're gonna get through college. Like, let's be real. Most likely you're gonna end up being in fast food, end up as a blue collar, or end up trapping. That's just how it goes. If you can't lock in and get some work done at no period of your life, especially in high school when it's very easy, like, let's be real, most schools aren't hard, how do you really expect yourself to really survive in the real world? But also, there's one more thing. If you really want to succeed after high school, you need to work hard. You need to believe in yourself. But besides that, those are the 3 ways to peak in high school. Follow all my socials: Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Discord right here. Join that up. Live channel right here. Go ahead and sub to that. But besides that, that's pretty much it. Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank you and goodbye.